I know it's dangerous, but I've been thinking. I usually shoot at the beach with a 24-105 zoom lens, but I've dug out a 50mm prime lens, and I just wanted to see, will it work at the beach? Now, I usually shoot with the zoom lens, and on a rocky beach like this one, even though there's a lot of sand at high tide, it can be very tricky to get some good compositions. You need to sort of get in close, and a zoom lens helps you to do that. But today, with a 50mm prime, I'm not sure how that's actually going to go. But I'm going to find a few compositions on the beach here and give it a try. Okay, I think I've found a neat little composition here. I'm not going to take too long shooting it, but I've got a couple of sort of leading lines to a rock and some shingle in the distance, and then the view beyond. So I'm going to try this at f8, and as you can see, I'm going to be pretty low down to get the shot. So here we go. Be interested to see how that one comes out. The first thing I've noticed with using a 50mm prime is that rather than taking wide expanse or vista type shots of the beach, I'm looking for more intimate compositions. So perhaps it's helping with that side of my creativity. We'll see. So I was going through my footage yesterday and decided that it might be a good plan to come back this morning and set up the same shots but using my zoom lens, just to see what difference it would make. One of the first things I noticed, of course, was that the field of view was so much wider and higher that I could actually make the shot that I had in mind when I was composing the shot yesterday. Even a low down shot has brought into play a bit of the sea and the distant shore across the bay, which I think adds a little bit more interest to the whole shot. There are times when you have to beat a hasty retreat from the beach, whatever camera you're using. In Cornwall in the UK, the tides are coming in and it's nearly high tide, and if I don't move quickly, I'm going to be cut off. But there's a whole new section of rocks to go and explore and have a look at, which I'm going to do right now. Before I go, the light falling on this rock is absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to take a shot here. Wonder what field of view I'm going to get with the 50mm. We'll just have to see. I suppose part of the problem with prime is the fixed focal length, and not just the fixed focal length, but also the fixed field of view because of that fixed focal length. So you're having to sort of move around the beach a lot more to get the compositions that you want. So it's a little bit restricting, particularly in a busy beach environment. Anyway, we're just heading up to the rocks now, and we'll have a look and see what we can find there. So here we are in a couple of minutes, moving to a completely different environment at the end of the beach. This is sort of like a rocky outcrop, a rocky cliff, sort of fairly typical of what you'll find. Excuse the wind noise if it's a little bit too loud. Anyway, it's a very interesting environment once you get down close to it, so maybe the 50mm prime will help me with that. Just had to show you that this is one of my playgrounds. It faces southwest, and this is high tide, beautiful sandy beach, and at low tide it becomes full of rocky outcrops, little sandy bars, Fabulous place to shoot, fabulous. Especially on a day like today, look at this, it's amazing. I must admit, I am struggling to find a composition in this environment. And even when I do find a composition, I find myself wanting to go back a bit, move further away to widen the field of view. So that is a bit of a limitation for me in this particular environment. Mind you, the shots should be really crisp and sharp, so that's a bonus. If only I could find a composition. So using a 50mm prime in the sort of beaches I photograph in, interesting experiment. I'm not sure that it would actually work for me and my photography, and it's probably why I haven't used it for quite a few months now. But it was good to sort of remind yourself about how a prime lens works, or how you can use it in the environment that you like to photograph in. So in terms of sharpness, of course, it's going to be a better lens than the zoom lens that I normally use, but I'm not so sure that that's actually essential to beach photography. You need something that is going to give you images that are acceptably sharp, not necessarily super sharp. So was bringing along a 50mm prime a mistake? Possibly not. It's given me more to think about when it comes to composition, because I work, as you know, in this sort of rocky environment. It's very difficult to find the correct position to frame a shot. But it adds a new perspective, but it's not a perspective that is completely different from using a zoom lens at 50mm. So that leaves me with the idea that maybe if I want something super sharp, I should be using a prime lens, but maybe the zoom lens is more than adequate for the sort of photography I do. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful, and thanks for watching. See you again soon. Bye.